And this is Peter Stone once again giving you some tools for 2022. And these are tools for business. If you are thinking about a business, if you've been in business for a year, 3 years, 5 years, 15 years, it doesn't matter. We've been in business for over 35 years. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we pay attention to change. And when we pay attention to change and we're challenged with it, we make we're forced to make, if we want to stay in business, we're forced to make new discoveries. And that's how Peter Stone matter-of-factly has stayed in business. We found solutions to every challenge because there is one. Some people say, oh, we only got one choice. That's not true. You have unlimited options. How is the questions you ask when you say, well, there's only this option or that option? That's not true. There are all kinds of options and solutions, and some just aren't in front of us. And we have to think, and we have to sit in silence. We have to let them come to us, let them show up. We have to talk to people, ask people, observe, listen, and ask questions. Ask good questions. Not like, why does this always happen to me? Or why do I always have these challenges? Well, you always have these challenges because you deserve them. You're ready for them to go to the next level. That's the only reason you're given another challenge and another, problem, right? It could be a problem if it's a repetitive thing. So we're giving, when I say problem, I mean like a math problem. There's a solution. But in the business, I use the terminology a little different because I've shifted the meaning of a problem, non-solvable, to a solution that is a challenge. Challenges are solvable. Problems seem bigger. And it's a mental thing for me. You do what you got to do, but remember the words you speak matter. Use words that uplift you. Like, yeah, why does this always happen? Well, I always have good luck. There's always parking. The bus shows up on time. The airplane changes schedule because I was a little late. And the plane was still there. And the door was still open. And I made the flight even though I was 15 minutes after the scheduled time. The universe works in amazingly magical ways when you let it. So, coming full circle to the tools we have, the discovery. I'm giving you the value of the deeper trip here, but I'm going to shorten it right now. I'm going to tell you, you want to show up differently in 2022 than you ever have. You may have in 2021, you may have in 2020, you may have been showing up differently, and that's why you're successful for the last 10 years or 5 years or 15. And so for anyone at any level, Peter Stone has an assay certificate that I would bet that you can call, email, text, message, go on social media and ask any jewelry company, do they have a jewelry assay certificate? What is a jewelry assay certificate? They tell you their silver is 925. They tell you and show you a stamp, but guess what? I can take any white metal cast it. Then I can go to any metalsmith and create a steel stamp that says 925. Anybody can do it. Anybody. There's no qualification required. You got to have an internet connection. You have to have someone to listen to you. And you stamp it 925, but it was white aluminum, or it was white steel, or it was white toxic metal. And they stamped it 925 because they can. But the real proof in the jewelry, even write the words, I don't care what it is that they stamp, but anybody can do it. But at Peter Stone, we back up the stamping process, and we've done that, well, I don't know, for over 20 years for sure, more than 20 years. How have we done that? I've made mistakes in my business. And one of them is thinking all this jewelry would sell, and I ended up with excess stock. And way back in 1996, I did a clean out because I had made plenty of mistakes. I went to the refiner, drove there myself with 100 pounds of jewelry. They melted it. And we got, wasn't exactly 100, but it was a lot. And we got, they tell us, after they melt it all, what is the average metal content? And it was over, the first one was over 96%. I said, oh my God, like I'm buying too much silver for the jewelry. And then I started refining that process. And then we kept on testing to make sure. I don't want to look over my shoulder. I mean, some people are congruent with what they do. Some people could care less. They only want your money. They'll tell you anything. So I'm going to make it really simple. Any person you buy jewelry from, ask them. Even if you are a retail buyer, you don't have any interest in business, all you want to do is buy jewelry. Ask them, can they prove that they've got sterling silver? They might say, oh yeah, well, we bought it from this company. Well, but that's fine. But how do you know along the way, how do you know they didn't have a challenge with their supplier? Even they've been around for a while. I mean, we have them, but we do the tests every 90 days or less. We were doing them every month. Well, I found we don't need to spend that money because we have a consistency. We have a track record. I was doing that for you monthly. So we have monthly certificates for a short period just to prove it. Then we do it every quarter, every 90 days. And we just got back a certificate that you see here on the screen. So it can get enlarged. You can enlarge it and you see the green circle. It's 93% plus sterling silver, which means you're really getting a good value because today precious metals are a good investment on top of the beauty that you're purchasing. People say, oh, well, it's 𝗶হি hamburgers. I go, no, some people do that. They try. I am like, that's another world. That is not the fine jewelry world. To me, that's the hamburger and hot dog world. Put it on a scale. How much does it weigh? No. That's really absurd because jewelry is beautiful and it's an investment. So I'll tell you one little story. Back in 2008, 2009, 2010, the price of silver was like $5 or $4.75, $4.50 per ounce for many years. So I started in 1987 and previous to that, so going up to 97 and then 2007, 20 years. It was at the $5 level, $4.75, $4.50 per ounce. Then it started going up. It went up 40%. It went up 100%. It went up 1,000%. So my point here for you is silver today is $23 an ounce, adjusted to the economic values of everything. Everything's higher today than it was back then. And I think it's a little bit higher than it should be, but it's okay because there's some inflation out there. So your money isn't as worth as much as it used to be. How are you going to protect yourself? Like, I got stuck when the price of silver went really high. The people's buying started tapering off, but I had literally a silver mine. Some people would say a gold mine. What did that mean? I had a gold mine. I had a silver mine sitting right there in my warehouse with inventory I got stuck with because I couldn't sell it because the price was too high now. And I took that jewelry and I melted it down. And I got roughly 300% on my cost, except the labor. So there was labor involved in making the jewelry. When I made it, I ended up making a profit by by melting down inventory that I couldn't sell. You can't do that with t-shirts. You can't, I guess you could, you might be able to do it with candles, recycle them. Books, there's so many things that you cannot recycle. You can recycle a shirt, but the best thing that happens is you get a new polish call for your car, and if you ever polish your shoes or polish glass or whatever, now you've got excess rags to clean your house. But that's not a money-making value, is it? Like sterling silver, you get stuck with it. Great, my inventory doesn't sell and it's going up. The reason it doesn't sell is because it's going up. Man, I got a great investment. That's why. This is why Peter Stone jewelry, number one, is number one, but so many people don't know it. Because our assay of our jewelry is consistent and it is documented every 90 days for you, proving that the money that you say you're buying sterling silver, you're getting sterling silver, but you're getting better than sterling silver. You go online today, especially like Alibaba or some of these other places, they are so full of scam. And Amazon is dumping people all the time for that. They shut down a lot of people who lied, cheated, and steal, but they haven't got them all. They keep coming back. How do I know? I keep checking copyrights. I see them. We knock them off again and again. But we'll be talking to Amazon about that. Anyway, value, trust, congruency. We tell you what we're doing, we do it. You don't know. Some people say, oh, yeah, I get the same design from somebody else, Peter, cheaper. I go, yeah, you can only get it cheaper because you have slave labor or somebody's not getting a life. And the way that things are going today, aren't we supposed to be treating people fairly? That's a new thing, right? This is disgusting to me. This thing that people say, oh, well, we should treat people nice now. No, I've been treating people fair and the same since I was a kid. I was taught that every person is valuable in the world, okay? You respect people, every single person, and you smile and you have happy moments with them. Doesn't matter if they're the CEO or the street sweeper. It just doesn't matter. People are people, and you respect them. You don't try to scam them. And we know, it's just sad. I was telling some people that the biggest of the company, there's just the human nature, sadly. And yeah, there's an awakening going on. I am so happy. People are being discovered, and the real deal is showing up. And so enough of the philosophy. But I just want you to know that this is the Peter Stone difference. Many people, it just doesn't matter. They don't care. They only care about an income. You could leave and you shouldn't be here unless you want to change the way you do things. You want to find more heart, and you're finding that price and screwing people is so competitive that Everybody, I have so many scammers. I can't make money in that world. And I don't want to go there too much, but I just want to make you aware that when you're out with your business, the things that make differences. And every week I will talk about one thing. And this week in our suite of services, I'm talking about the assay certificate, which is full of value for you, for your business, for your customer, for your client. And if you are a retail buyer, then directly from Peter Stone, you know the beauty of our jewelry. Now you really know that if you didn't know, that the metal is exactly what's better than what we say it is. I want you to know that. So this is Peter Stone. Make 2022 your best year yet. Discovery. Raise value in your life. Don't buy cheap. Don't support the cheap, because you're supporting not good things. And I know so many people have heard it for decades now. Just don't support like the slave labor stuff. Don't support bad people that have bad business practices. Support people with heart, soul, and happiness, and that know that joy is the way life is supposed to be while making money. Enjoy your journey. This is number one going into 2022. Number one tool. You can show up differently when you put that assay certificate on your website, or that you show it in your store, or you show it at the fair and festival, and you tell the people browsing, like they say, oh, I saw the same thing down there cheaper. It's not the same thing, number one. Number two, they can pick it up and feel the heft. Number three, oh, did they have a certificate of authenticity that tells you their jewelry was real sterling silver? Did they? Oh, just go back and ask them. Here's ours. And we don't only have one in this little book, in this little folder that I have. Here's Peter Stone's last 20 years of certificates. You can request them. I'll send them to you. The proof is in the consistency. So when silver went up, a lot of people started putting nickel in their jewelry because it was cheaper than copper. Not a chance. Not a chance. You paid more. And there were people who says, I can't pay more. But they did, because they knew the value. The value in Peter Stone jewelry holds its own, holds it for you, and holds it for your customer. This is Peter Stone saying one more Peter Stone difference going into 2022. Love you. Enjoy the journey.